Hello and welcome to the next YouTube video on my channel. If you want to get better at chess, then this video is just right for you, because in this video I'm going to talk about the very interesting and also very strong checkmate in 8 moves trap, which you can play with the black chess pieces, which starts with the Stafford Gambit. So let's get started. At first, I will show you how it would look like if the trap will work perfectly, so if your opponent will do every move that you want him to do. And then I'll go through all the moves of this trap again and explain you every move more detailed, and I will also show you how to answer with the white chess pieces when your opponent tries to play this trap against you. So how I've already said, this trap begins with the Stafford Gambit, and this very interesting gambit can be only played after the first move of the Russian game, or also called the Petrov defense. So it begins with pawns e4, e5, and now the white army attacks your pawn on e5 with knight f3. But you don't defend your pawn now, which is attacked by the knight on f3, but you rather start a counterattack. Here you now play knight f6, attacking white's pawn on e4. So here, after the white knight on f3 has taken out your pawn on e5, you don't take out white's pawn here on e4 with your own knight, but you rather play the key move or the main move of the Stafford Gambit, and that's the trade of the knights. So you play knight c6. In the Stafford Gambit, the white army will accept the trade, so they will take out your pawn on c6 with their own knight on e5, and you will take out white's knight with your d-pawn. Now, this gambit continues with pawn d3 to defend their pawn on e4, which is attacked by black's knight on f6. Here you answer now with bishop c5, and if your opponent now tries to pin your knight on f6 with the move with their bishop on g5, then you've basically already won this game, because now you're just sacrificing your queen with knight on f6 is taking out white's pawn on e4, because here now the line for the white bishop on g5 is completely open and you can take out your queen. In the Stafford Gambit, the white army will accept the trade, so they will take out your pawn on c6 with their own knight on e5, and you will take out white's knight with your d-pawn. Now, this gambit continues with pawn d3 to defend their pawn on e4, which is attacked by black's knight on f6. Here you answer now with bishop c5, and if your opponent now tries to pin your knight on f6 with the move with their bishop on g5, then you've basically already won this game, because now you're just sacrificing your queen with knight on f6 is taking out white's pawn on e4, because here now the line for the white bishop on g5 is completely open and you can take out your queen. So here the white army logically takes out your queen on d8, because why not? But this is really a big mistake, because now you have a checkmate in 2 moves, and this checkmate is forced, because now you just take out white's pawn on f2 with your bishop here, and that's a check. And with this move you force the white king on e1 to move 1 square up on e2, and here you just play the very brilliant move with bishop g4, and that's checkmate. Isn't this really cool? Now you have checkmated your opponent in 8 moves with 2 bishops and 1 knight, basically in the center of the chessboard. But of course, this trap won't work like this in every single game, because every opponent won't answer or play how you want them to play. But now I'll go, how I've already said, through all the moves of this trap again and explain you them more detailed, and I will also show you how to answer with the white chess pieces, with the idea not to lose this game after 8 moves like this. So you can basically always try to play this trap against your opponent in the Stafford Gambit if your opponent answers with knight f3 after the first 2 moves, so e4 and e5 with the pawns. Here you now just answer with the main move or the key move of the Russian game, also called the Petrov defense, so knight f6, and if your opponent accepts this game now, so he takes out your pawn on e5, you display the key or the main move of the Stafford Gambit, so you offer to trade your knights here now at the third move of the chess game. So here the white army has now many different options how to continue. For example, pawn d4 would be possible to defend the attack knight on e5. Also, it would be possible to move back again on f3 with the knight, but if the white army here decides to trade, then you just take out white's knight on c6 with your d-pawn. And now the white army again has many different options as to continue, but it would be good to defend their pawn on e4 here, which is attacked by your knight on f6. The main line of the Stafford Gambit would be pawn d3, but moves like knight c3 or pawn f3, queen e2, queen f3 are all also possible without any problems. But if your opponent wants to play the main line of the Stafford Gambit, then he will continue with pawn d3, defending his attacked pawn on e4. So here after pawn d3, you just continue with the trap, so you play bishop c5. And now you really have to be lucky so this trap will work, because now the white army can basically do every move they want to do. Really good moves here would be to play pawn h3 or pawn f3 to avoid a move like bishop g4. As the same reason, it will be possible to play queen f3 or, for example, bishop e2. But if the white army, however, decides to pin your knight here on f6 with their own bishop, they will move on g5, and now you have basically already won, I've already said it. Because here, you just act like you don't care about anything anymore, and you just take out white's pawn on e4 with your knight on f6, giving away your queen here on d8. But of course, here would be a mistake for the white army to take out your queen on d8 because of the forced checkmate in two moves, which would happen after. Here, the better move would be to move with the bishop from here on e3, because here on g5 he's now twice attacked. So, like this. But if the white army is too greedy and takes out your queen on d8, then you just take out white's pawn on f2 with your bishop from c5 with a check. He has to move one square up on e2, and you have a checkmate. Very brilliant move. Bishop g4. So, very interesting and also strong. That was the Stafford Gambit. And that was already with this video about this very interesting checkmate and 8 move strat, which you can play with the black chess pieces. I hope that you liked this video. If you liked it, feel free to leave a like there and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I also hope that you will try out this strat once in a real chess game against your opponent. And hopefully it will also work. So till next time, bye!